From WFSB, Connecticut's first choice for news, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 5:30.
Parking in New Haven could soon be a little easier, but a little more expensive.
Well, finding a parking spot downtown is almost impossible at certain times of the day. But now a city alderman is pushing an idea that could make parking times and costs a little more flexible.
Channel 3 New Haven Bureau Chief Robert Goulston is live with Mobile Newsroom with our story. Robert?
Al and Denise, typically what happens is you drive around the block several times and you finally find a spot. You look up at the sign. At this one, you can park for 2 hours. Then you go over to the meter here and you start throwing quarters in it. Well, now there's a plan on the table that may make the whole process a little bit more flexible. Time is money, and in downtown New Haven, 2 quarters will get you.
Hopefully not longer than 36 minutes.
But people always seem to find a time to have their say about why it's so challenging to find a parking spot. And even when you do,
you gotta pay a lot for parking.
A city alderman is working on an idea that would make it more flexible, making it so it might cost you $1 an hour at one point in the day when it's less busy, and maybe $2 an hour when it's really crowded.
People should have the expectation that if they want to drive downtown, they should be able to find a spot kind of near the store that they're looking to shop at and be able to park there.
There's also talk of using a pay-by-phone system, so you're only charged for the time you actually use.
You have a membership and you're running for the train station. You don't have time or you don't have the change together to feed the meter. So you park, you call up, and your membership number basically says that you start charging for your meter then.
One of the plans could also include using the meters at night when restaurants and bars are crowded.
I guess I'd be more inclined to maybe go local, not in New Haven if I had to pay.
Personally, what do you do?
Personally, what do? I utilize public transportation for the first time in 41 years.
And the 2 aldermen behind it say that this is just a working idea. It's going to take about a year for this to actually happen. In the meantime, there's going to be a lot of public input. In the meantime, though, make sure you feed your meter. We're live in New Haven. Robert Goulston, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Robert. They are responsible for answering our calls for help. And just like in any career, 911 dispatchers need updated training to learn the latest techniques to handle what can be very trying situations. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Len Besthoff joins us live with the Mobile Newsroom now with more on that. Len?
Well, Denise, all you have to do is look back in the past year in Connecticut. We've had a number of very serious domestic violence incidents, and that's how you can understand why this training is so important.
I came here and she said her ex-husband had a gun. I don't know what happened.
We've all heard the chilling 911 calls for help from domestic violence victims like this one from New Britain late last month. That's why a number of cities and towns want their dispatchers and call takers given up-to-date training on how to handle these crises.
Some are more pressing than others. Some, the wife's getting beaten by her drunk husband. You want to get somebody there a little quicker.
Today at the Mashantucket Pequot Tribal Police Department, that's just what happened. For a good portion of the day, the focus was on handling domestic violence calls, which make up a large majority of what comes in to a 911 center.
They're not just calling calmly. The caller is usually pretty excited, and sometimes it's really difficult to obtain information when somebody in that state.
The program focuses on information skills and pre-arrival instructions that can be used to increase the chance of a successful outcome in situations including domestic violence, attempted suicide, child endangerment, and other difficult 911 calls.
It's really on the operators not only to find out where the location is, but what they can do prior to the arrival of responders to help protect that child, protect that victim, and also protect their responders as well.
Now, this was a 2-day program, and it included dispatchers and call takers from several New England states. We're live with the Mobile Newsroom. Len Besthoff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
New at 5:30 tonight, the state's No Child Left Inside website has been shut down after a possible breach. This includes the Facebook and Twitter pages as well. Now, the Department of Environmental Protection is investigating this breach, but will not go into any detail about what happened. The website was part of the DEP's No Child Left Inside initiative designed to encourage families to visit state parks. The governor's office released a statement on the matter saying Mrs. Rell has ordered, quote, an immediate and thorough security review of all privately hosted websites used by state agencies. Any site found lacking in adequate security will be promptly shut down until the necessary upgrades are made.
We have new information tonight on a story you saw first on 3. A veteran school maintenance worker accused of scamming the city of Waterbury for overtime pay will keep his job, but he will be suspended for 5 days. Officials say Sam Goodman punched in for overtime at Kennedy High and then went to work at his part-time job at BJ's.
The man convicted in the deadly attack at a Meriden home back in 2006 is set to learn his fate next week. 22-year-old Joe Baltus faces up to life in prison. Police say Baltus stabbed Michael Laverty inside his Hull Avenue apartment and then kidnapped Laverty's stepdaughter, who was Baltus's ex-girlfriend. Police also say Baltus stabbed Laverty's wife, Linda, and Laverty's son. Both survived.
Jury selection has begun now in the case of a man accused of stalking Oprah's best friend and former Channel 3 anchor Gayle King, who was recently a guest on The Late Show with David Letterman. Police say back in 2008, the defendant repeatedly showed up at King's home in Greenwich, trying to give her a copy of a political expose he had written, hoping that she would help him get it on The Oprah Show.
All new tonight at 5:30, a mystery in paradise lands a former television producer in custody. His wife disappears in Cancun and turns up dead. The latest on what detectives think happened and why he is under investigation.
From record heat to the possibility of frost, the latest on a weather alert, plus when the rain will end and what to expect for the weekend.
If you haven't already gotten it, it should be in your mailbox any day now.
Please fill out your 2010 census.
It helps get money for our state, our community, and our home. And you can help.
Fill out your 2010 census form today.
The Qatar diplomat who caused that security scare aboard a Denver-bound airplane will be sent home. Mohammed al-Madadi was en route to Colorado Wednesday night when officials say he tried to smoke in the plane's bathroom and then joked about lighting a shoe on fire. The incident caused a security response, including a fighter jet escort. Al-Madadi will not face charges.
Police in Mexico have now released former Survivor producer Bruce Beresford Redmond, but they say he remains under investigation for the death of his wife Monica, who was found dead this week in a sewer at a resort in Cancun, where the family was vacationing. Beresford Redmond has been ordered to remain in Mexico and has been turned over to the American consulate.
There's a survey out on that new Nike ad featuring Tiger Woods. 600 people from around the country were asked to describe their emotions after viewing this commercial. 44% said they were confused. 37% said they were skeptical, and 25% said they were disturbed. Nike drew a lot of criticism with this ad, which they created by piecing together a recording of Tiger's late father. And a plane carrying a banner taunting Tiger Woods at the Masters has been grounded by the Federal Aviation Administration. The single-engine Cessna made a couple of passes over the golf course in Augusta yesterday. According to TMZ.com, the FAA grounded the pilot today for a worn-out tag on a seatbelt. There is no restricted airspace over the course.
We do have a consumer alert for you tonight, so listen up. The Consumer Product Safety Commission is recalling 15,000 baby books. The books made by the Gund Company have styrofoam in the binding, and pieces of styrofoam there can detach, and that, of course, could present a choking hazard. The books are entitled Animals, Numbers, and Colors. You should contact Gund toll-free at 800-436-3726. You'll get a free replacement. We'll put the information on our website.
Well, there's some good news if you're looking to rent an apartment. Rental prices are apparently falling in the Hartford area. Right now, the average cost for a rental within a 10-mile radius of downtown Hartford is $921 a month. That's all according to a report by RentJungle.com. The price has fallen 2% in the first 3 months of 2010, and it fell 3% at the end of last year.
iPhone and iPad owners have been squawking, and Apple is listening. It has announced updates to the operating system so that the devices can run more than one program at a time. Other updates include the ability to get email from multiple accounts to show up in a single inbox. The upgrades will be available this summer for the iPhone and in the fall for the iPad.
Tensions are running high after an international adoption is fouled up. Why an American woman adopted a Russian boy and then put him right back on a plane to his home country.
Then all new on Eyewitness News at 6.
After a devastating mudslide, work is already underway at an apartment complex in Middletown. Now we're finding out federal money may be on its way. I'm Villeda in Middletown with that story next.
All right, let's check the closing numbers on Wall Street today. The Dow picked up 70 points, very close to 11,000 now. The Nasdaq up 17, and the S&P was up 7. A lot of sevens today. Time to a 49-year-old talent manager named Jason Winters. The couple is yet to make an official announcement, but friends say the couple has been dating for several years and that nuptials are definitely in the works.
Now, Channel 3 Early Warning Weather. Powered by Early Warning Pinpoint Doppler. Tracking weather in your town and everywhere in Connecticut.
So, Denise, in a space of 3 days, we went from, 92 or 3 down to
93.
52 or something.
I know.
What was it?
And then parts of the state will be 32 early tomorrow morning. We do have a weather alert. Yes, we've had warm weather. Now we have a weather alert for freezes and frost. And basically, we are returning to normal. Frost and freezes are very typical, very common in April. All right, let's check out that weather alert for you. A freeze warning in effect from midnight till 9 a.m. for northern Litchfield County and a frost advisory for southern Litchfield County for the exact same time period, as temperatures will be hovering right around the freezing mark. Now, as I mentioned at 5, we would take a look at the upcoming hurricane season, and there's an early outlook. This comes from Colorado State University and Dr. William Gray, and he's forecasting a very active season. Normally, we get 11 named storms. The forecast is for 15. Hurricanes, we normally get 6. The forecast is for 8. Major hurricanes, category 3 or greater, we normally get 2. And Dr. William Gray is forecasting 4. Of course, the National Weather Service will be coming out with their forecast in May. Right now in Hartford, rather gloomy conditions, kind of a wet start to your weekend. So if you're going out this evening, take the umbrella with you and the heavier coat because it's in the 40s and 50s and it's wet on our live city cam in New Haven. Much of western Connecticut is rain-free now, but we got light to moderate rain. In fact, one batch of heavier rain coming north out of Haddam right now. This is all going to be moving up across northern and eastern Connecticut, and that's going to be the west part of the state as we head on through this evening. So far today, 0.79 inches at the Norwich Free Academy, Willimantic 0.61 inches, Hartford about 1/3 of an inch, lesser amounts in western Connecticut where Danbury has received about 0.22 inches of rain. 51 right now in Hartford, 51 in New Haven. Other parts of the state are in the mid to upper 40s, like Norwich coming in with a current temperature of 47 degrees. Okay, we got a storm system that will be departing, but right now it's still causing rain and more coming up from the south, the wettest part of the state, central and eastern Connecticut, as we go on through the evening hours. On the big picture, once we get past this East Coast system, we see a lot of fair weather. There is a front out across the northern plain states. That'll come along and give us a chance for a shower late Sunday, but much of the weekend is looking dry. So we get the rain out of the way this evening, partial clearing overnight, and Saturday partly sunny. Notice some snow showers off to our northwest in the morning. Skies will tend to clear as we head through Saturday afternoon and evening. Then on Sunday, here comes that weather front, partly sunny skies, and again, there might be a few stray showers around Saturday afternoon on into a Saturday evening as the next cold front moves through. 32 in Torrington tonight, 31 in Salisbury. The rest of the state should remain above freezing. And as we head into tomorrow, a return to normal. The normal high is 58. Well, that's what I'm forecasting for many parts of the state tomorrow. All right, Saturday, partly sunny, breezy, and cool. Then Sunday, partly sunny and milder. 68 inland, 65 at the shore. Then Monday, morning clouds giving way to partly sunny skies and turning cooler again. Highs in the 50s to near 60 degrees. And coming up at 6 o'clock, I'll let you know about the possibilities of frost for next week. Denise, back to you.
All right, thank you, Bruce. Students from around the state gathered today to test their knowledge of geography. And that's one of the stories we have for you tonight as Channel 3 Eyewitness News goes everywhere, town by town. In New Britain, students from across the state gathered to compete in the state championship for the National Geographic Bee. The event was held on the Central Connecticut State University campus. Correct. The winner will represent our state next month at the national finals in Washington, D.C. Good luck to everyone. In Manchester, a household hazardous waste collection center is being set up next to the town landfill this weekend. The center will be open on Saturday, tomorrow, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Acceptable items include paint, auto fluids, fertilizers, and cleaning products. In Glastonbury, the state DEP shooting range will reopen for the season on Saturday. Tomorrow, there will be special provisions for the spring turkey hunting season. The range is located in the Meshamasik State Forest on Tollgate Road. Eyewitness News is everywhere, town by town.
All new tonight on Eyewitness News here at 5:30.
With this bridge closed in Pawcatuck, these businesses are suffering, and now the word is they're finding oil in the river. We'll have details for you straight ahead.
And much more to come on Eyewitness News at 6, including this.
Remember the bogus sex ad that was posted on Craigslist and brought a slew of men to a West Hartford home looking for sex? Well, it turns out the person who posted it lives in the neighborhood.
Questions about what Hartford City Charter says about the mayor stepping aside temporarily when his trial begins next week.
Completing the 2010 census will help Connecticut get funds for roads, schools, and hospitals. Be counted and help our state. Fill out your 2010 census form today.
Businesses along a bridge between Pawcatuck and Westerly, Rhode Island are in limbo. That bridge remains closed after last week's flooding, and that's causing major inconvenience for business owners as well as for travelers. Eyewitness News reporter Dan Kain was in Pawcatuck today, and he came back telling us that things are, oh boy, going from bad to worse. He joins us now with more on that. Dan.
Yeah, Al, I'll tell you, the bridge was closed because of concerns over structural problems caused by the flooding. And now today, an oil spill in the river added environmental problems to the mix, delaying matters even further. The businesses along the bridge between Pawcatuck and Westerly thrive on street traffic, and the closing off of the bridge has cut them off completely from their customers.
We can't get to the store, our customers can't get to the store, we're forced to be shut. We get no aid from the state, insurance denied us.
Before today's rains, the word was that the bridge might be inspected today.
I was told there's going to be divers in there today, but I don't see any divers.
One of the reasons there are no divers in the river is because now they have discovered there is oil in the river.
We came down, DEP is here, Rhode Island DEM is searching their side. Right now we don't have a cause and we're still looking for it.
The thinking is that the oil in the water is home heating oil, but the trick is locating the source in the rapidly rushing river.
Right now it's going to wash out to the mouth of the river, but you know, you worry about what it does when it gets out there, and you know, I know the Coast Guard's been notified and they've been monitoring it.
It just keeps coming. I mean, the rain came a little bit more today, and we had the Mystic River Bridge that the scar warning went off, which means that there's a significant amount of water coming down there, the Mystic River Drawbridge. So it's just doesn't let up. It's unbelievable.
And the Pawcatuck River Bridge is just one of 4 in the Stonington area that are still closed due to storm damage. Dan Kain, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.